And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Up first, hazardous weather. We've got a wind advisory out for the eastern Alaska range through midday Sunday for south winds of 30 miles per hour, gusts to 60 miles per hour. And from there, looking at the fire danger for spruce, the forecast for Saturday, high to very high here over the Yukon Flats again, actually extending on up the Porcupine River there. And also for the eastern North Slope, a small area of high fire danger. Copper River Basin, high fire danger there in the valley, and on the east side of the eastern Alaska range, Northway and Tok areas, high fire danger there as well. And from there, going on to satellite imagery, low pressure here out over the Bering Sea, kind of dropping southward. Another low appears to be forming here along the southwest coast. Anyway, a front with a lot of clouds and rain here from the Seward Peninsula right on down, spreading into Cook Inlet and the southern Kenai Peninsula area down across Kodiak Island, bringing some pretty good wind and rains to the area today. Otherwise, to the east and the north, drier conditions, but still pretty windy in the Copper River Basin. Gulf Canacine gusts at least at 35 miles per hour today, and kind of a diminishing rain pattern over the Panhandle. Out to the west, we have a system tracking eastward here along the Aleutians, weakening as it comes, as you can see, sliding kind of east-southeastward there in the frontal boundary, or the front kind of breaking up and getting shredding a little bit with some holes showing up in it there. So that weakening pretty good. On the chart today, right about that position there, spreading some rain from Adak and Atka eastward to close to Nikolsky, but generally a dry day there for the eastern Aleutians. Periods of rain anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch falling here across the southwest interior, all the way up into the Nome area, along with winds of 25 to 45 miles per hour in gusts, and light rain extending up onto the western Brooks Range area. Gusty winds 30 to 45 miles an hour across south central Alaska today, ahead of this frontal system there, with rain up into Prince William Sound, spreading northward slowly in Cook Inlet, and mostly dry up over the eastern interior in the Copper River Basin. And this trough pushing through for diminishing showers. That'll continue tonight, a drier night coming up there for the Panhandle. Otherwise, wet, windy conditions, gale force winds, possible gusts 50 miles an hour ahead of this front as it pushes up toward the North Gulf Coast. And rain overspreading northern Cook Inlet, taking a little longer into the Matanuska Valley, but should be some rain by tomorrow morning. And rain along this frontal boundary up to the northwest coast, becoming less windy and lighter amounts of rain, changing to showers here over the southwest interior. And the remnants of this low now just grazing the Alaska Peninsula with a little bit of precipitation there. Stays dry on the east side, and high pressure for light wind conditions over the Aleutians. That holds through Saturday. Light winds for the Aleutians and the western central Bering Sea. Still breezy there for the Pribilof Islands with some rain and showers. Then this weak front, weakening front, pushing northward with some light rain to the western Arctic coast, Brooks Range area, down into the Noatak and Kobuk Valley areas. Periods of rain, Kuskokwim Valley eastward along the Alaska Range and southward to the North Gulf Coast, and still pretty windy day. Gales through Saturday there for the eastern North Gulf Coast, and wind and rain starting to increase again along the central and north coast of the Panhandle. And then for Sunday, looks like mostly over the northern half of the southeast coast will be wet conditions, drier down to the south. Periods of rain, this front weakening, so it'll be light rain now for the North Gulf Coast. Some of that could spill into the Copper River Basin, and mostly cloudy, cool showers, areas of rain here, south central Alaska, back into this trough over the Kuskokwim Valley. Showers for the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, some light rain for the Alaska Peninsula. And also along this trough, look for quite an area of rain and showers there from the Seward Peninsula across Noatak Valley into the Brooks Range, even the eastern Arctic coast. Out to the west, just a very weak low now in the central Aleutians for a few showers there, but winds staying on the light side. And for the lows tonight, 40s and 50s over much of Alaska, except for the Arctic coast, central and east side there, mid to upper 30s. And for the Panhandle, mostly in the lower 50s. Highs for tomorrow, 70s, Warmest over the Yukon Flats, 75 to 80 there on down toward Eagle. Otherwise, 50s here, south central Alaska into the Copper River Basin, 50s and 60s for the Panhandle, and 40s and 50s for the Arctic coast, 40s and lower 50s for the Aleutians and Bering Sea. And then Sunday morning, lows, again, 40s and 50s south of the Brooks Range, north of the mountains up there, falling into the 30s out toward the Arctic coast. 50s for the southeast coast, and then the highs for Sunday afternoon. Cooler, but still into the lower 70s there for the Yukon Flats down toward Eagle. Otherwise 60s north of the Alaska Range there, 50s and lower 60s across all of southern Alaska, except maybe 65 there around Gulkana and Glen Ellen. Highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s for the southeast coast.